solid one. It's, if you can get that on repeat tonight, he'll take it. Made a ball straight away off this. You can see the split. Red straight into that right centre pocket. If you can find a formula to do that every break, you'd be able to sell that for a lot of wonga. Williams off to a flyer here. We know the rules by now, but in case you are new around here, it's the Ultimate Pool Champions League. 4 players here tonight, as there has been every week so far into week 13 of the competition. Finding our final group in the last 16 of the tournament here tonight. Winner will go through of the 4. We'll have 6 round-robin matches tonight. 4 players will play each other. 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw, none for a defeat. Top of the league at the end of the night will qualify into the last 16. And already Andy's got some thinking to do. Played a development shot there that just went ever so slightly wrong.
I'm wondering whether he did play that development shot, because if he did, it was slightly under hit. Obviously, if he didn't, then he's missed a trick. But this will be a really good test to see where he's at tonight, in terms of this was a layout that you have to take on. And we've seen this a few times to start nights off, where it's fiddly, but if you're under, you know, up and running, you're feeling good, you know you're going to take it out. But this one, there was a little bit of work at the top of the table. Obviously, the one he's on now at the top, trying to get on that one nicely, which he hasn't. And then the 2 together at the bottom are, you know, you can deal with them, but you've got to work them around nicely. He might be okay here. Can he clip this in the centre? Body language is quite good, and he's looking at the potting angle, so he's been very fortunate to land on a ball here.
Yeah, if he's come up smelling roses here, that's a brilliant place to be. Yeah, it's going to just fall in. It's not getting any easier for him though.
Yeah, it's finished right in between again. Could have done with that pulling up 2 or 3 rolls short of where it has, or going further.
I wonder if he maybe is giving some thought to the double here.
I'm not sure if it's on. Yeah, it probably is. If he could play the same shot again, that might be the option. Going this way around is bringing a lot of traffic in.
He managed to avoid the balls. That's a great shot. Done really well there. Sort of shot where you just accept a bit of distance here, because just being able to be on this red in a decent way was really difficult there.
He'd love more angle though. He's just finished a touch like plumb straight. See the 8 ball's awkward there on the right hand side.
Oh, he was nicking, wasn't he?
Yeah, there's nothing to steal there though. It really wasn't. That was tough. And that was all. That wasn't, you know, obviously that's a poor shot. You know, he shouldn't be making that, but whether he would have got on the 8 ball if he made it is another matter. But that kind of finish went wrong almost from the first shot. If he gets the first shot right, he makes the top end of the table a lot cleaner, makes his transition a lot easier, and he gets out a lot easier than he ended up having to try to. So disappointment for Andy.
Onto the table comes Flash himself, Shaun Chipperfield. Having a little chat with him before we came on air about his style and his mannerisms out there, which are pretty unique in a not just a pool sense, but general cue sport sense. You'll see it right here as Chippy lines this one up. The way that he just connects with the ball, pretty unique. No feathers, just gets down. Described it before, like just point and click almost. It feels like for him. We asked him a little bit about that, and he says he feels like he does the feathers that we see, you know, 90% plus of players in all cue sports do. He feels like they're a bit of a waste of time for him, because he's already in line. He doesn't need to almost risk getting himself out of line by a feather. If he's in line, just play the shot. Sounds simple when you put it like that.
Yeah, gets down, hits, and he gets himself down on line, and he's like, why am I wasting time? But weirdly, it's come out really well for him in terms of, you know, ultimate pool. That is such an advantage to be able to just get down and hit it. He's got more time on shots than other players.
I do wonder if that shot was a little bit of a test of the pace of the table. He knew he could be over on that shot a long way. He's got his line wrong here.
The advantage of the red going safe, though, it makes it a lot easier to have a, you know, free hit at this, if you like.
Oh, and then it falls anyway. That's a nice little double from Shaun Chipperfield.
The advantage, this is a really good double, but the advantage of having the second go there with a very clear table, because, you know, Shaun didn't put the cue ball where he wanted to once in that whole visit, but because there was no traffic, he was able to keep working himself back into position and find a way. He'll improve as the night goes on from that visit for sure.
Yeah, and I almost think for players like Shaun, and you know, he's not unique in this, there's a lot of players in this category, but when they're presented with a table like that, you almost feel like they're just almost testing the table a little bit, seeing the real fine mechanics of how things are rolling, how the cushions are reacting, where things are going to end up. And you know, there's a shot there that he played to get on the 8 ball where, you know, his rule there is, okay, just don't underhit this. You can overhit it by a mile and you'll still be fine, which he did, but you feel like he probably will learn off that shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Worth pointing out, though, all players get about 15-20 minutes each. They all arrive in the building between 3 and 4 o'clock, depending on the player, but they all get given 15 to 20 minutes allocated time to just get a feel for it out there.
Playing on the Ravson Apollo, best in the business in terms of the equipment, but just the conditions of which are out there in the arena just are a little bit different. Very, very tough to replicate at home, the conditions in this main arena. That, Shaun Chipperfield, was a super shot.
I didn't even get my opportunity to say how tricky a layout that was. It no longer is.
Yeah, it's not anymore, is it? Yeah.
Now every ball has a pocket. Now it's still, you've got to connect them together, of course. But I'm pretty sure the red does pass the yellow to bottom left, the one that's on the left-hand cushion. And obviously, he'd love to be able to take the one away from the bottom right now. But he, obviously, because it blocks the other red inside it. But essentially, every ball has a pocket now. There you go, that's a prime example of the advantage that Shaun has. There were 3 seconds on the clock and he was still not rushing. He was still stood up with 3 seconds on the clock, and he got down and hit it without even a hint of sweat. It's all about trying to get on this one on the left-hand side to then get somewhere else. I could definitely see him leaving this one on the left till last now, because actually the 8 ball's not the worst to connect off it. So, but he doesn't have a good angle here to bottom right either. So, not in good shape at the moment. He does come across for it now. But, at least he's got angle, but this next shot can go wrong for sure. Looks like he can a little bit of bottom right and just get above the 2 yellows that he's queuing over now. Yeah, just that touch of right-hand side to go down the line of the shot. And that was putting the cue ball in a good area for both.
Yeah, options now for Shaun Chipperfield. Can go either which way. Identified the key. Found the way through. Williams wanted to come from quite a way behind here in this match. 2-0 down.
Yeah, that's the problem, having your first opportunity in the match. I feel like we've seen this every week for quite a few weeks on the trot now. The first visit's been tricky, and it's been the underdog that's had the opportunity, and if you don't take it, you make the game easier for the number 1 seed, who tends to play in the opening match of the night. And they're sort of up and running and away.
On the Olympics break, trailing 2 frames to now.
Ball made immediately as that right centre pocket. Dub's got a secret formula for this break.
May well have done. Let's have another look. Yeah, it goes. Another one, this is a better chance. Obviously 1 ball to work out, but it looks like he can do it first shot. Well, he didn't really want to make both, but it's not disastrous. It could have been worse. He's a touch straight now on top left, but if you kept the one over top right-hand corner pocket, then that's his connection down the table. But he might have to leave himself a slightly more awkward shot, unless he's got more angle than it looks. Yeah, not too bad. He can get down just below the break lanes. He's looking at bottom right then, or bottom left. Depends on the angle he has.
Yeah, the ball in the middle of the bottom cushion is almost the last real issue for him.
The angle he's got on the red to bottom left now, it's easy for that yellow to remain in the way, unless he feels he can just drop it in and slide by it. I mean, of course, he can take the one to the centre first and then do it, but that yellow plays quite big, whichever way around he decides to go. And that's why he's come down the table first. Can't finish straight. He's getting down quickly. He's got enough angle here to punch out.
Yeah, I really like that choice actually from Andy. Oh, but that is a loose one. Again, similar to his first visit in the table, just you can see there with, you know, by how far he's missed it, you can see he's trying to pinch stuff, and I don't actually think he actually needed to there.
He was maybe a quarter turn straighter than he wanted to be, and yeah, he's taking his eye off the pot to make sure he gets the cue ball right. It obviously is not as obvious as it was in the opening frame, but it was very similar.
Genuinely disappointing. In an ideal world would have made both, but tried to play a cue ball where, and he didn't have sight of this red. And he's landed right in the middle of the two blockers, and he would be disappointed with that.
He's decelled on that one. You see with the cue ball, he got that one all wrong. As skill shots go, as combination shots go, that was as easy as it gets, and you could tell he just mistimed it.
Talk about that well-trodden cliche of you don't ever quite settle till you get your first frame on the board, and you sort of say it a little bit less in the Champions League compared to, for example, the Pairs Cup or maybe the mixed pairs at the end of the season, because in those tournaments we see a lot of players who aren't used to this environment, who might even be making their TV debuts. Champions League, pretty much every single player in it is an established player on the Ultimate Pro Series, and sometimes we forget that there's still the same rules apply, and the longer this wait for a first frame continues for Andy, the harder it's going to get.
Especially with the opportunities he's had. You know, the first one was tough. Good double. The first one was tough. The second one was one he should get, and then obviously that combination shot, he'll be distraught not to make that. So 3 good chances for Andy.
Didn't get a go in frame 2, but had 2 chances in frame 3 to turn the tide in this match. 2-0 required a big comeback. 3-0 is bang up against him. Time matches are in progress tonight, as they always are. Got 6.5 minutes left and ticking of this one. Match clock stops. Final 5 minutes for the racking of the balls before Shaun Chipperfield may not even make the 5-minute buzzer for the 15-second shot clock. He's done that before. But, well, if Andy wanted a frame to get himself into the night, maybe not necessarily the match, as it might just be that little bit too late for him. This is a great opportunity.
Final ball rolling though, and he's tried to deal with it, but that red just, if it pulls up, the red nearest the bottom right corner, bottom left as we look from the overhead, it was the last ball rolling. If it stops just before it gets to the yellow, it is routine run out on reds. He tried to move it there on the first shot and misses it, and all of a sudden that is still a problem. Now he should still get there, but it's work.
Yeah, second chance to deal with it here. Ooh. It's not happening for him so far tonight, Andy.
The problem for Andy is the mistakes he's made. The miss in the opening frame was by such a wide margin that it would have kind of, it really would have knocked him a little bit, and obviously then making a similar mistake in frame 3 and then missing the combo and then missing again here. So the mistakes he's making are all building on top of each other. They're fairly fairly basic errors for a player at Andy's level.
Yeah, and the thing is, with these matches, which Andy will be well aware of before he even chalks his cue tonight, is there's so little margin for error. You almost put yourself under more pressure knowing that every potential mistake you do make, you know, can be really, really costly. The best players in this format are the ones who actually, it's not the ones that make no mistakes, because you can't always legislate for that. Obviously, the less mistakes you make, the better. But in this format, you're always going to make them. It's how well do you adapt, how well do you recover from them. Shaun's been far from perfect in this game, and yet he's 3-0 up.
He's just gifted Andy an opportunity to get this frame.
Needed, much needed. Yeah, we usually say first frame of the night will make him feel a whole lot better, but I don't know if that's landed with him just yet.
Just thinking, Andy looking sharp in his new shirt. Didn't he have a nod to his, because he's a big Liverpool fan, isn't he? Didn't he have a nod to that on his previous year's shirt? So wondering why he's gone away from it.
It's on this year's.
Oh, is it?
I can tell you, yeah, he's got a little 𝗨𝗃𝗵𝗵𝗵 in his jersey, and I can tell you actually, Shaun Chipperfield's top is a tribute to his team. Shaun, a huge Norwich City fan, and that's the reason for the canary yellow and green colours that adorn his shirt. I said, if you're that big a fan, why do you not, go all out and have a yellow shirt? And he said, I can't quite pull that off, I don't think, but he does still have a mini tribute, if you like, to his beloved Canaries.
I do find it interesting. I always think it's a little insight into the personalities of the players, what they decide to go for. The ones that go for a little bit more flamboyance out there.
Just an issue with the match clock, which the timer is fixing, which is why neither player is moving from their positions just for the time being. Back with you with our regularly scheduled programming in just a second. Did you have a nickname when you were a player, Simon, or were you just one who went just simple? Meat and potatoes, first name, surname.
Yeah, of course, and I'd go for a very plain shirt as well. If it was
Classic,
me, it would just be
classic.
Probably just go something like a all navy or something like that.
Yeah, okay. See, if I was thinking a nickname, if you might go the Spider.
Yeah, I can see why you did that. His break's getting better and better.
Well, there's the one thing that should actually keep Andy feeling decent about his matchup here. Yes, he's made mistakes, but he will be able to control that. Mistakes are avoidable. What he definitely can take from this match, his break has been brilliant. Just keep going with that break, and he'll keep getting chances like this.
Just has to be careful. He's going to play on the two yellows on the left-hand side here. Just got to be careful to leave an angle to be able to get to the top cushion, or get the cue ball sort of near the break line on the right-hand side for the final yellow. That's not guaranteed here, so just got to be careful with this shot to leave a good angle. And once again, I think the cue ball is forcing him to miss these balls. I think he was conscious of the angle, and another one goes.
Chippy made that particular pot hook bridging over down the rail. I mentioned it earlier, he's one of the best single ball potters anywhere on the ultimate ball circuit. It sounds like a very easy thing to say, but potting balls is a good attribute to have for a ball.
He's missed one in the match, but he doesn't miss many. He is right up there. Could have done gone with a little bit more angle here, so he's going to be taking the red down the table. He could just get the cue ball off the cushion. Forced off a bit too much, actually. He'll need that potting ability here. This is tough.
Yeah, didn't he just? I'd be a bit annoyed at that, because it might just put his break under pressure here if Andy gets a move on. He's hit this first shot right, and he does. It's a great shot. Now clean these three up pretty pronto. And, you know, Shaun Chipperfield drive break is out of the question. All of a sudden, Andy Williams would have an opportunity, but goodness me, there's Chippy being let off the hook there. Wow. 4-1 win for Chippy. It's a match that Andy Williams will want to forget pretty quickly, and he'll need to if he has any chance of progressing tonight. He'll be back in the next round of fixtures in a must-win match for him, really. For Shaun Chipperfield, a bit of a strange start. Played well, had some loose moments, but he wins 4 frames to 1. Back after this.